Hi guys, I'm John from Microsoft, and I'm here at iBuyPower headquarters in Los Angeles with Brad. Thanks for having me down, Brad.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we're excited to talk about these new desktops. So we've got the Element and the Snowblind Element. But before we dive into these devices, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what you do here?
So I'm Brad Sokin. I'm lead product manager at iBuyPower, and that means that all of the products that we sell, primarily desktop products, all kind of funnel through my department. We do a lot of testing, we design cases, like anything to do with desktops and the parts in them goes through us.
Awesome. Well, it definitely seems like with some of the hardware you guys are putting out these days, that must be a pretty fun job.
Oh yeah, it has its good spots.
So let's start off with the Element. There's definitely some unique things about this design, right? Why don't you tell us about it?
Oh yeah, so this is our Element. This is our first tempered glass case. It's actually one of the first tempered glass cases on the market, especially in terms of system builders. What we kind of focused on with this was this premium feel, premium materials. A lot of other gaming cases are very flashy. They focus on RGB LEDs and things like that. There's a lot of plastic. We didn't like that, so we're like, what can you do? Like, oh, windows normally plastic. Let's go with glass. Like, where else can we replace plastic? Oh, well, what about the front? No one's done a front window before, so that was kind of the initial thought behind this.
Right. Yeah, I really like that little touch. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but you actually have the lighting behind the arc fans there.
Yeah, these are also our we call them arc halo fans. This sort of like ring fan thing that's been going around. But when we launched this case, it was sort of before everybody else was doing it. So it was a very unique, cool look when we first came out.
Yeah, definitely. I love that clean glass look. So, so that's kind of the aesthetics of the case. Now, in terms of type of specs and performance we can get out of this machine, what could we expect?
These are pretty fully configurable, all the way from the lowest end sort of i3 type processor all the way up to i9's 18 core, anything in between, any kind of graphics card you want, memory up to 128 gigs of RAM. So it's really just like sky's the limit. What do you want to configure? Put the specs in, we'll build it for you. In terms of on retail, we do have this available in a lot of different retail markets, Best Buy, Amazon, on the Microsoft Store.
Right.
We have this with a 1080 and an i7. So any spec you want, there's one out there for you.
Okay. And what about Bluetooth and Wi-Fi? Is that an option as well?
Yeah, so on our core website, you can configure it with a motherboard that comes with Wi-Fi, or you can add Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as like an add-in card accessory if you want that feature.
Awesome. So it would support VR then, as well as Windows Mixed Reality, since we use Bluetooth controllers.
Yeah, for those
okay,
Bluetooth
very cool.
controllers.
All right, so that is the Element, but I think the real interesting story here is the Snowblind. So is this how we power it on?
Yeah, there's a button in the back. I want to get that. That'll turn the light for the screen on.
So this is basically the same kind of case design, Element case design, but you have this LCD panel there.
Yeah, so this was something we debuted at the beginning of the year we call it Snowblind. It's our transparent LCD side panel technology. We had a lot of people asking for customization options for the window in their case, people doing engraving, putting on stickers, and this kind of is the last evolution of that. You can put anything you want because it's literally a display. It connects to the computer just like a monitor would. So you can put anything you want, videos, logos, your favorite teams, your favorite characters. If you want to do monitoring, you can put widgets for CPU temperature, things like that. Sort of, again, sky's the limit. Whatever your imagination, wherever that takes you, you can put that on the side of your.
So it really is a whole separate display that's basically built into your PC. So it's an LCD, right?
Yes.
And you worked with Intel to design it. Like, tell us a little bit about how you turn an LCD into something like this.
So from a technical point of view, it works the same way that a normal LCD monitor would, but it has no backlight. So what we do is we light up the inside of the PC with the same type of LEDs you would use in a monitor backlight. And because the LCD itself is transparent, you get that kind of floating effect that's here,
right,
where there's the display and then the components behind it. And Intel was very, very instrumental with getting this, off the ground. They helped us a lot with a lot of the engineering challenges. you know, because we came out with a prototype that had this screen on it. Everyone loved it. They asked us, hey, when can we buy this? How can we buy this? And we said, we just made one, right? How can we don't know how to manufacture a screen. And Intel really, you know, came through, helped us out, you know, figuring that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the coolest thing I've seen on a case. I mean, so like when you power this off, it's still running, but you don't really see it because the backlight is essentially not happening?
Yeah, so it'd be the same as if the backlight on your monitor went out, you're not going to see the images. We actually included that button as a sort of feature because, you know, it's cool, but I could see at night, you know, you're gaming, you know, or if people that leave their computer on, you know, you don't want this, like, it's like having a monitor on in your room at all times. So.
And then there's some interesting things you do inside the case, right? So like when we power this up, part of the reason why it's so reflective is because you're using white components. Is that the deal?
Yeah, so in order to get the best contrast for the image, it's better to use sort of white or silver components on the inside. So for the specs that we offer online, we kind of curate that. You know, we make sure that people are either choosing or being steered towards components that look good, right? If you choose a RGB motherboard and a green video card, it's not gonna look as good because you're gonna have those colors fighting with the colors on the screen. So yeah, the white components always look the best.
So where did the name Snowblind actually come from?
Okay, so remember how we mentioned the LEDs for the backlighting, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and open the door on that case?
Okay, there we go. Ooh, that is pretty cool.
So when we first made the prototypes, that was the, oh God, you know, it's blinding me, you know, and that sort of theme rolled through until when
like Handel's Messiah played or something.
It's just overwhelmingly bright. Yeah, the camera's probably not too happy.
One of the things I love about your systems is that they're so customizable, and partially that's because of your manufacturing process, right?
Yeah, so you know everything we build is here in City of Industry in Southern California. You know the support, customer service, sales, assembly, everything is all here in this one building. That allows us to be very quick, very agile. You know, with everything, we don't have to outsource support to somewhere. You know, we can just walk over to tech support and ask them for help, things like that. Oh,
that reminds me, you're also, because you build things so quickly like that, you're usually earlier on new technology, right? Like, isn't this one of the first 8th gen devices you could find at retail?
Yeah, actually, so the Snowblind element right now is exclusive to Best Buy, and the one that's in Best Buy is the first 8700K desktop in retail. Awesome. We got it, you know, right away, got it into the store, and for the holiday season, that's the only one out there.
And that one comes with a 1080?
Oh yeah, the spec for that one is pretty high end. So it's a 1080 Ti card, 8700K, 240 gig SSD, I believe 16 gigs of memory, and that's right about $2,000.
Okay, wow. So the Snowblind, if I was to configure this off of iBuyPower.com, comparing an Element case to an Element Snowblind, how much cost does the Snowblind add, roughly?
Yeah, the adder to go basically from this case to this case, just the chassis itself is about $150, and you know that covers like the white paint job and the screen itself. Okay. And then we usually tell people to budget about $200 because you're also going to want to have the white motherboard and the white video card, and those parts usually carry a little bit of a premium over the like normal black version.
Wow, that is surprisingly affordable for such unique tech, I gotta say.
Yeah, I know. I remember when it first came out, people were saying, "Oh, what does that cost? Like $1,000." Someone said it in a video somewhere that it was $1,000, and so that, like, I guess that was acceptable to some people. But no, it's not. It's not $1,000. Like I said, it's $150 to $200 premium over a system without a screen on the side.
And I'm sure people will ask, but this case is not available standalone, right? You have to buy it with.
Yeah, it's only available as a configured system.
Any reason for that?
Yeah, we do get that question a lot. Right now, the main reason is it's very new. It's new to us. I think it's new to the market. There are some special considerations when configuring a system, such as the white and silver components. The other thing is it's a little fragile still, right? You've taken the element of a monitor and removed a lot of the protective parts of it that prevent it from being jabbed or dropped, and you know we're trying to avoid some problems with this as this kind of matures. You know, we're open to sort of licensing it, right? If a case manufacturer wants to come out with their own LCD case, we're open to work with them. But I think that price premium is a little scary for people, right? Like I said, about $150. That would turn this into a $250 case.
Right.
on the market, and I think
You still have to curate all the right components
yeah,
to have it come out.
I think it's, you know,
Makes sense.
I'm actually surprised that we were able to make this leap, you know, to convince everybody, hey, yeah, let's do this, right? Let's make this a real product, not just a mod. So I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I mean, it is really one of my favorite new pieces of tech on gaming PCs. So thanks so much, Brad, for having us down and walking us through the Element and the Element Snowblind. Like we were saying earlier, I believe, you can find the Element, of course, at iBuyPower.com or at the Microsoft Store, and you can find the Snowblind on iBuyPower.com or Best Buy.